Start recording, yes, and start broadcast.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone. I hope you can hear my voice. Uh, will, I'm extremely sorry for the delay, last minute technical glitches that we faced. Um, so to start with, uh, I'll introduce myself. I am Lokesh, handling DevOps operations for Comly globally. I have I have been in this industry for several years, and but specifically for remarketing, I have been working for Visory and now for Comly for last 3+ years. The objective of this meeting is to understand how we can set up mobile app remarketing with Revx platform of Comly. I'm sure a lot of you guys would have met our representatives in eTail Asia and at Tech Delhi. Apart from this, you might have also been reached out by our sales representatives to discuss the opportunity which is lying with mobile app remarketing. As we know that mobile is the future and mobile app is going to be the prime driver for all digital advertising. Let me take you through to the agenda of the day. So in today's webinar, we are going to cover these 5 points, wherein we are going to do a quick recap on Revx. We are going to understand what are the tech requirements that advertiser needs to follow to start mobile app remarketing with Revx. The integration requirement with the third-party SDK. Audience management and segregation, wherein we will be talking about how we can identify users based on their intent and the behavior on mobile app. And last but not the least, how we can ensure that we are getting the best performance out of Revx and create an ecosystem where we reach out to right users at the right time and with the right message. So first, we'll do a quick recap on Revx. I'm sure you have heard a lot about Revx by now with our representatives. So Revx is a powerful tool which Comly is building over the years to ensure that all remarketing needs of our advertisers are met across different platforms, whether it is websites, the desktop sites, mobile apps, and using their own CRM data to reach out prospective users who are interested on the products but have not converted on the website. So what Revx does is it collects user data and pool the user behavior and cookie IDs into a powerful predictive model where we do a lot of predictive algorithms to define which users are going to be converting on the website, clicking or engaging with advertisers' message, and therein we decide what sort of bidding should go out for what kind of users. So this primarily helps us in the programmatic buying of publisher inventory and decide on what kind of messaging goes to which kind of user. Once we segregate audiences and create our strategy for different kind of audiences, we can target and reach out to all these users across devices. So this is a very unique capability which Revex has in its store, that we can reach out to users across devices, whether it is mobile, tablet, desktop or laptop. Now, the agenda of today's webinar is to focus on mobile and tablet users, because that's what your mobile app remarketing is going to do for you. Revex and Comely is working with 40 plus top e-commerce companies in India and Southeast Asia, and a lot of these customers are very satisfied and eager to start mobile app remarketing with us. Let's move on to the most important topic of the day. What are the tech requirements that you need to fulfill to get this mobile app remarketing going with us? So these are the 4 big requirements that we need from advertisers to start mobile app remarketing. Many of these requirements are similar to desktop remarketing that you might have already been working with us. So first point is about audience data collection. We need to place our Revex smart tag or post track URL with third-party trackers such as MAT, AdX, AppSolar and GTM. We have recently integrated with Adjust as well. So this covers the 90% of SDK market for all our advertisers. Second way of collecting data is sharing user lists such as list of email IDs, phone numbers, Facebook IDs or device IDs. So these we'll talk about this in detail going forward, but this can help you kickstart your campaign on your mobile app. Second requirement is about the creative, which is the content or the message which you want to show to your users. So we are very careful about the creatives that we show to our users and the placement of these creatives, so that the integrity of brand and the brand value remains etched to the right kind of audiences in a right kind of way. So we'll need a brand creative guidelines which we can use to create a dynamic ads at our end, which will definitely share with advertiser for their final approval before taking it live. We will need a static creatives which can help us create a fallback option in case there are not enough data for the user, or there is some kind of technical error which is 0.5% of overall impressions, but we want to make sure that we cover everything. Apart from that, to make a dynamic creative work and to ensure that we are doing a one-on-one customization with each mobile app user, we will need product feed, and in product feed we'll get to know what kind of requirements we need in the slides ahead. Third requirement is about conversion tracking pixels. These pixels are nothing but to ensure that we are tracking all thank you page users or converters who are coming on the website and converting. So there are 2 ways to go about it. One is conversion pixels on third-party trackers, which we talked about, MAT, GTM, AppSolar, etc. That is to record conversions for the users who are coming directly, clicking on our website, on our ads, and then converting on the website. The second way is through Facebook app event tracking, wherein we ensure that all the conversions which are getting driven by Facebook app is being recorded in our system. The fourth requirement, although it's a very quick requirement and does not take much time, but a very crucial requirement, wherein you need to provide Facebook page permissions to Comely as an advertiser, and also you need to provide Facebook app permission, which will enable us to serve Facebook newsfeed ad in Facebook app. Moving on to the first requirement into little bit greater detail, the audience data collection part. So Revex Smart Tag is a concise and user-friendly tag to collect data for audience creation and ads display. So what this does, there is a sample image tag or postback URL you can see in the bottom of the slide, wherein we ensure that for each event which gets triggered on the mobile app, we record the funnel position of the user, the product ID which the user is seeing, the category which the product belongs, subcategory of the product. At the same time, we also capture what is the operating system of the device, whether it is Android or iOS, and we get an Android ID and Google Advertiser ID to define and to identify user across apps. Partner ID is the third-party integrator ID, which tells our system that if you have integrated SDK with MAT, Appsala, Adjust, or GTM. So this tag is to be given to your third-party SDK integrator, and they will implement it on their system. So in this case, the advertisers need not worry about placing these postback URLs. They just need to send a mail to their third-party integrator asking them to pass this data to Comely, which in turn Comely will store in our system and ensure that we are doing all our predictive crunching to decide on what kind of users are doing well on your website. Another important aspect of this smart tag is that it covers both secure and non-secure pages. And so if your requirement is to run campaign only for your secure pages, we can cover that using Revex. Moving on to the next requirement in audience data collection, which is user list. So there are different kind of requirements of advertisers in mobile app. One is about active users targeting on mobile app who are engaging on a day-to-day basis or who are engaging frequently with the app. Another requirement is for dormant user campaign, wherein a user has not engaged with the mobile app for a certain time period, and you want to bring those users or re-engage those users with your app. Now, for the second kind of requirement, what Revex does is that gives you a complete flexibility to define what is your dormant user. If you believe that a user who has not interacted on your app for last 7 days is categorized as a dormant user, we can do that. If you feel that a user who is not interacted for 20 days with your app is a dormant user, we can do that. At the same time, Revex has a very unique capability to identify which of these users have uninstalled the app from their devices. And this is one of the first of its kind in the market, where we can identify all those users who have actually uninstalled the app, and we push for reinstalling the app. Now, so for dormant users campaign, you need to share with us the list of users. How you can share this list is using the list of device IDs, using the list of email IDs, or Facebook IDs. Using this, we can create an audience of different buckets and target these users accordingly. Now, sharing this information can be in a different format. You can share it over an email, the file. You can host it on your specific server and give access to Revex to download these details, or you can set up an XML sort of file where you update it on a frequent basis and we download on a frequent basis. Now, since we covered the dormant user, now the second part is active users engagement and pushing that conversion, pushing users through the funnel. To do that, you need to pass on Android ID and Google Advertiser ID. For Android devices, this ensures that if we are not having Android ID match for the user, we can use Google Advertiser ID to match them. If it is iOS device or tablet or iPhones, we can use IDFA, which is ID for advertisers, for this matching of identifying of user on different apps. In case you are interested only to run active user campaign, there are two ways to go about it. You can ask a third-party integrator to place our postback URL and wait for 7 days or 10 days so that we pool these device IDs and the user behavior and feed it into our predictive model. Or the second approach is you give us all your existing device ID list and we create an audience and kickstart the campaign on the first day itself. So if you have the list, nothing like that. If you don't have it, we can still run the campaign after 7 days of pooling the device IDs. Moving on to next requirement, which is about creatives. The guidelines that we require are basically what kind of template that you want to use. If you want to use multi-product template or you want to use single product template, based on our experience, we have seen that single product templates do better. So that's predominantly used in the campaigns. For Facebook app, Facebook newsfeed is the major unit of ad. And in this one, you can provide us what is the title text that you require, what is the body text, and what is the image. You can see a sample ad in the bottom left of your slide. And which are the creative sizes that you need to take care of? So there are the list of creative sizes which are mentioned on the right side of your slide. The majority of inventory that we receive on mobile app at current status through our various publishers partnerships, whether it is InMobi, whether it is Google Ad Exchange, whether it's AppNexus, or whether it is MoPub. These three sizes cover 90% of the inventory that we have, which is 300 by 250, 320 by 50, and 728 by 90. You can see there are various image formats that we support, which is PNG, JPG, and GIF files. The next requirement on creative is product feed. Product feed, these all listed items are more or less similar to what we require for a desktop remarketing campaign, except for a couple of values that are mentioned here. One is deep linking URIs. I hope you guys are aware about deep linking URIs. Deep linking URIs is nothing but the URIs wherein if a user clicks on a product on the banner, he is taken directly to that product page instead of the home page of the app. We also have a capability to push these users to shopping cart if they have added a product in the shopping cart. That's completely customizable, and we can do that. There is a sample XML feed at the bottom of the slide wherein you can see different product names and IDs and all the details that are mentioned on top of it. Now the third requirement, which is conversion tracking pixel. Now this is very important to measure the performance of the campaign and the ROI of the campaign. So if you want to track how many of these users who are clicking on our banners are actually converting on the website. To track that, this is very important that advertisers place this conversion tracking pixel on the thank you page. So when we are doing an active mobile app campaign, this thank you page tracking pixel will be on the page where the user conversion has finished or the last page of the purchase cycle. But when it is for a dormant mobile app user, as soon as we ensure that user has re-engaged with the mobile app, that is considered as conversion for us for that campaign. So if you define a page where you want your users to land from dormant app campaign, that page should consist of this thank you page pixel, and that will ensure that we have all conversions recorded. For Facebook app event tracking, there are two ways in which you can track conversions. Either you enable the conversion event through Facebook SDK, or you use the mobile measurement partner who can do this conversion pixel implementation for you. Now the fourth requirement, the last requirement which we discussed, is about Facebook promises. So there are two major requirements to run your campaign on Facebook app. One is providing page permissions, wherein you give permission to create ads linked to their Facebook fan page. Although these ads will not get published on your fan page, but whatever likes user provides to such ads will increment the likes on the Facebook fan page. It also enables Comely to serve ads on behalf of your Facebook fan page. The second requirement is about app permissions. In this, you need to basically grant access by entering system user ID provided by Revex support system. This will enable the Revex business team to get access for your Facebook app ads and to enable us serve ads on Facebook apps. Moving on to the next agenda of today's webinar, how the integration with third-party event tracker happens. So we have a very evolved partnership with all these third-party event trackers, and they have created a separate module for Comely, and which ensures that there is a very smooth and seamless integration when we are starting a mobile app campaign with you. I will briefly walk you through the flow of this integration. Comely will be sharing a Revex postback URL with you, and you will in turn share it with your third-party SDK guys. They will implement this postback URL into their SDK system. Now you might be thinking that you need to send update to all your app users to update your app and then this will work, but that's not the case here. This integration ensures that you need not update your app and still Comely starts getting the data to third-party SDK. How this works is that your third-party integrator starts recording the user events and records the different parameter values in their server. Now this server is connected to Comely server through a module which is specifically designed for Comely through our unique partnership with them. There is a server-to-server call which happens from third-party integrator to Comely, and we get all the events and parameter values on a real-time basis. Once the data comes into Comely server, we store this data into our user database, which in turn links with the product feed, the XML feed which you have shared. And then there is a mapping which happens between the product the user has seen and product which is available in the feed. And we fetch the personalized images, personalized discounts or prices for those products, and user gets to see the product that he has browsed on the advertiser site. Now this can again happen cross-device, whether it is mobile app, mobile web, or it is through tablet. As I said, we have all key partners: Appsala, Adjust, AdX, Matt, GTM. So what are the sample events that you can configure to start your campaign? If you have an e-commerce website, these are the basic list of items that we will definitely require to start the campaign, which is category view, product view, add to cart, add to wish list, checkout initiated by user, and thank you. Apart from this, there are different other capabilities that Revex has to run the campaign. If it is a gaming campaign or gaming advertiser, they can set up an event for tutorial completed, level achieved, achievement unlocked, and then they can push the different kind of virtual goods that they want to sell to users. If this is a website where you are looking for more signups or registrations by user, you can trigger it based on the login and registration events on your app. Similarly, you can do it for content view and rating kind of websites where you can trigger your events on a different kind of activities done by user. Moving on to the next point in the agenda, it's about audience management. How do you identify good users from bad users? How do you ensure that the money that you are spending on app advertising or app remarketing is going out to right set of users and right number of times, ensuring that they click on the ads, engage with the app and convert on the app. So in the audience management part, Revix ensures that all the experience of web remarketing that we have over the years and all the learnings that we have in our predictive models is being used for mobile app. So even though we are not very old in mobile app remarketing, still we ensure that all the learnings from web and all the learnings from app that we have so far, we integrate both of this and come up with a powerful algorithm which ensures that performances are there too. So we already have built a mobile app predictive model which is quite unique, which ensures that web expertise is coupled with signals from app ecosystem such as device model, operating system, device resolution, and many more factors. The snapshot that you can see in this slide is for audience creation for Facebook CA campaigns. This is a custom audience campaign wherein if you don't want to run active user campaign and you have an audience already in your mind which you want to target through mobile app marketing, you can share the list with us and we can create that audience for you and we can run the campaign. Now, you might have heard me saying a lot of time about predictive modeling and how do we segregate, and that looks like a black box to a lot of our advertisers. So what we have done is we have come up with an exercise wherein we give more and more information about our predictive modeling, and right at the bottom you can see a link wherein we have tried to capture some of the insights that we have generated through our predictive modeling. So please go visit this blog and read it. It will definitely help you understand how our models work. Now the last point, a very crucial point where you will be very interested to know how you can help Revix perform. Predictive modeling is good, creatives are good, everything is good, but how can you influence as an advertiser to make it perform in a way that you want? So these are the few points that can boost your Revix app performance if you do this on an ongoing basis. For example, the first point is pixel maintenance. So for us to get user data on a consistent basis and keep our databases up to date with the recent user behavior on our app, it's very important that pixels are firing correctly and firing on all pages. Another important aspect that is very important to take care of is that any major changes on your app or updates in your app, although you need not make changes in your SDK, it's always good to run by your third-party integrator to check that all events are getting captured and all parameters are being fetched from the page. Second important point is about the similar topic that we touched, event tracking and product parameters. This has to be passed accurately at all point of time. Another important feature where advertisers can help us, although we do a lot of analysis on the data that we have, the big data that we get from the mobile app, we would need some kind of input from advertisers about what are the top performing categories, what are the top performing products, what are the categories and products which are giving higher ROI for you, to ensure that overall ROI of campaign is intact and growing month on month. Regular product feed update. We generally download product feed twice or thrice a day to ensure that all the prices in our feed is up to date. All discounts which are related to feed products is updated. This ensures that all the creative, all the ads, the content that we are serving to users is matching it what is there on the mobile app, so that there is no gap between what they are seeing and what they are actually getting on the app. The fourth point that we need from client is it's about sales plan for the month or quarter. So as you know, you will have a dedicated account manager to manage your mobile app campaign. It's very important that he is aware of what are the dates wherein there are major sale events happening on your mobile app. This will help him prepare with the relevant creative and with the relevant optimization strategy to ensure that we are reaching maximum users on the sale day and making your sale events a great success. Second important point of this is that you send us a daily automated report from your web analytics tools such as Google Analytics or Adobe. This makes sure that although we are measuring our campaign on post-click basis, we also ensure that the last click performance is also growing week on week. Daily automated reports helps us fine-tune our strategies, fine-tune our audience basis, so that we can reach out to the right kind of audience to our strategy. And as I said, it's very important that you share insights on user behaviors on your app, because the whole mobile app ecosystem is growing and there are a lot of new things to be learned in this system. We are learning. We expect to learn more from you. We expect to learn more from our models. We expect to learn more from our data. So it's very important that we keep connecting and get this kind of insights from you as well. Before we move to Q&A, I would also like to touch upon how much time it really takes to get your mobile app campaign taking live and running. If you have those 4 requirements of creative, Facebook permission, product feed and post-back URL integrated with your third-party integrator, it takes 1 or 2 days for us to take the campaign live. So all of these prerequisites are pretty much very simple for you to do, because the post-back URL, the moment you sign an IO, will be in your inbox. The moment you send it to your third-party integrator, he can make this adjustment in his SDK or in his server within a day. When we get creative guidelines, it takes us 1 day or 1.5 days to come back with a dynamic creative for your approval. And as soon as these are in place, we can take the campaign line in 1 day of time. So I'm saying, at the worst case scenario, you can assume that the moment you sign your IO, 5 days after that, your ads will be serving across the apps, and you can start getting the traction that you get from a remarketing campaign. Now the floor is open for Q&A. Please ask the questions that you have in your mind. So one of the questions that we have received is that how do you really influence the third-party integration? So it's a very simple process wherein you need to give an approval to your third-party integrator to provide this data with Homely server, and the list of parameter values that Homely requires, we will share it with the third-party integrator. So you need to just send a mail to your third-party integrator. Rest all discussion and implementation can happen between Comely and the SDK provider. Second question that we have received is about, can we do dynamic product display in our ads, and if it is multi-product or single product. So this is very much the capability that Revex has developed and aimed for from the beginning, that we give that kind of flexibility to advertisers wherein we run single product as well as multi-product. Now this multi-product ads are not only the products that user has seen, it also involves a lot of recommendation engine algorithms wherein we identified what are the cross-selling opportunity for a user who has seen a particular kind of products. For example, if a user has seen a mobile product, along with mobile we can also show the covers and mobile cases and maybe a stick for selfies. So that kind of stuff, our recommendation engine recommends that the users who have seen such kind of products have also bought similar kind of products. So yes, the answer is yes, we can do multi-product mobile app retargeting.
There's one more question. Are we integrated with all the third-party websites?
Yes. As I already covered in my presentation, we are integrated with all leading third-party integrators, and which makes us a no SDK approach remarketing player in the market, which very few remarketers are having. Lot of remarketers will provide you with your own SDK, wherein you need to push your SDK through the updates for your apps, and users need to install it before the remarketing for them starts. Herein, Comely has a distinct advantage that you need not place another SDK in your app, and you can just go ahead with your existing SDK partner. Thank you very much for you to attend this session. It was a pleasure talking to you, and look forward to run your campaigns on Revex and give the kind of performance you are looking for. Thank you very much.